To continue human resource strategy, people-centered approach, selection process, HR analysis commonly compare the screening and selection process to a hurdle race. So you need to, get the best people. You have to have job analysis and job description. Job analysis is the process of identifying basic task and skill requirements for a specific job by studying superior performance. While a job description, it's a concise document. You guys understand the difference between this and this? This is a document that outlines the role expectations and skill requirements for a specific job. So analysis, when you identify what tasks, and the job description is when you have it on a document. EEO. EEO is the Equal Opportunity Employment. Yes. It has to be prepared prior to the advertisement. Yes. Yes. Yes, you have to have it before in the prepare stage. This is part of the Civil Law Act of 1964. This is in the U.S. that says in virtually all aspects of employment it's unlawful to discriminate on the basis of race, color, sex, region, age, national origin, disability, and veteran status. This is based on the U.S. law, and in many countries they are implementing this. It's part of the human rights movement. Selection of all other personnel decisions must be made solely on the basis of objective, job-related criteria such as the ability to perform or seniority. What do you guys think if people in your company started to hire based on non-objective reasons? They hire their cousins and their friends and their neighbors. What will be the consequences? Yeah, you start to have no diversity issue. You start to have problems related to non-work issues, and you start to need to, you need to, go over and accept not very good job done. Affirmative Action Program. It's a plan for actively seeking out, employing, and developing the talents of those groups traditionally discriminated against in employment. There is a law now in Yemen that says, you have to have 30% of your top management team to be women. Okay, or maybe there's a law that says 50% of top management of a government organization has to be from the south or from the north. Active recruitment of women, minorities, elimination of the prejudice, questions on employment application forms. In some countries, it is against the law if you ask what is your religion on a job application, because they don't want people to write their religion and then the person who interviews them know their religion because of what they wrote. You see, so that becomes an issue of prejudice. Establishing of a specific goal and timetable for minority hiring, statistical validation of employee testing procedures. So you also want to make sure that if you do any tests, that you have some sort of a valid testing that is fair for everyone. You see. This is from Affirmative Action Management Diversity. Management Diversity Movement promises to raise the discussion of equal opportunity. So this is also another legal issue. In some companies today, you have your customers, half of them, let's say, when we talked about the Shibani restaurant, right? They have female section, they have male section, they have married section, they have female only, they have family only, they have VIP only, they have business only. So therefore, they need to have similar distribution in terms of their employments. Diversity issue in terms of age, education, background, personal differences. Diversity advocates want to broaden the message of inclusion to make it globally applicable in multinational organizations. So this becomes more of an issue, especially for global company, where they have to work in all different countries and they have to maintain, good diversity representations of the markets they operate in. American with Disabilities Act. This is an ADA law. It requires employees to make reasonable accommodations to meet present future employees' physical and mental disabilities. Some companies they have to have a certain percentage. If you have more than 100 people employees, you have to have at least one disabled person. You see, sometimes if you have more than this number of people in your facility, you have to have your facility to be disabled, for ready for disabled. So you have to have a bathroom that's good for disabled people. You have to have, special, that's ready for disabled. These are some policies, guidelines. Now, these are some rules and regulations that is requiring businesses to accommodate all of the people of the society. This way, we don't have a big social injustice. We want to have more social justice. Training our managers about ADA compliance, how to be sensitive to other people with disabilities. You do not hire anyone who cannot safely perform the basic duties of a particular job with a reasonable accommodation. So if you're going to hire people, you have to have the accommodations that they need to in order to work. Otherwise, don't open. In some cities now, they do this 1 week study males and 1 week for females, and then you have to have teachers for male students, female for female teachers. Now in Saudi, for example, they have this. You have to have a female for the female, otherwise you can't have them. So did you see? So there are some rules and regulations, and you just need to kind of be aware of those rules and regulations. Recruitment and selection, employment selection tests, any procedure used in the employment decision process. You guys know pen and pencil tests. Anyone in their job, when they got their job, they did a pen and paper or a pencil and paper test. Yeah. Or maybe unscored application form. You have an application form that you have to fill in. Sometimes informal or formal interviews. So they have to interview. Performance tests, sometimes they may want to see you in the workplace. Physical education and experience requirement. So they may require you have to have a bachelor degree, or you have to have, got I don't know, the black belt on this particular, you know, uh, must be unbiased, statistically valid, reliable predictors of job success. So why do we do these tests? In order to make sure this person will fit the job. Effective interviewing. Effective interviewing. Interviews are the most common selection tool. Shortcomings of unstructured interviews. So here there are two types of interviews. There's structured and unstructured. Structured is when you go to the interview and you have particular areas that you're going to ask. Unstructured interview is when you go and you do an interview with no preparation. Now, what's good? You do it with structure or with no structure? Structured are better. The unstructured have these problems. Problem number one, highly susceptible to distortion and bias. So easily you can be unbiased. You like this person, so you hire them. You go and you highly susceptible to legal attack. In some countries, they may have a legal case against you if you are proven to have hired someone based on some objective reasons. Number three, legally indefensible if contested. So if you go to the court and it is unstructured, then they can go against you very easy. Number four, apparently but not real validity. It's not really valid because it's not structured, not totally job related. Possibly can be invasive of privacy. Next, we've got highly inconsistent in application, a selection tool, subject to interviewer bias. So if the interviewer is biased, then they can play with the rules. And then maybe no feedback about selection errors. And there is an unsubstantiated confidence in the traditional interview. Are you guys okay with this shortcomings of unstructured interviews?